All right, today's lesson is on whole and equal parts, which is really fun. So we're doing 12-4 today. So inside, again, this top part is pretty much the part that you need to read through to give you examples of the problems and to help you understand all the words here in our word bank for our math vocabulary. So we're discovering, are these equal parts? So here are two equal parts. These are halves. So there's two equals, the vocabulary word is halves. And these are unequal parts. Remember the prefix un means not, so they are not equal. One of the easiest ways that you can play with this concept today is by taking, I'm just going to take a piece of scrap paper that we used earlier and make us trace the same shape. I'm just showing this so you can practice it, because then you can do it on any problem if you're ever getting confused. And let's see, how fast can I do this on camera? I'm going to cut out the circle as best I can. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it'll be enough to practice this concept. Okay, so here's my circle. If I fold it on this line right here, I should be able to fold it right in the middle, and they're two equal sides. So they are equal. However, if I was going to draw the line here where it shows and try to fold it, one side is clearly much bigger than the other side, so they would be unequal. So it's really easy to do that, especially on some of these straight lines. It is a bit more complicated to fold, but you can see the equality here in a circle when you cut through the middle. So 3 equal parts means that it is, move the trash, thirds. So that's vocabulary. These are unequal, meaning if this was a piece of pizza, would you be cool with this piece, or this piece? They're very different sizes, and you probably have an opinion of which size you would prefer. So again, circles, you can actually come through the middle here, which is a neat way to break it up. Here, 4 equal parts are fourths. These are unequal. And there's lots of different ways to show fourths. So on this square, you can cut straight down and each slice is equal. You can make it into squares or cut across diagonally. So guided practice. For each whole, circle 2 halves, 3 thirds, or 4 fourths. The main thing here is that you're practicing that 2 are called halves, 3 are called thirds, and 4 are called fourths. So again, I would encourage you to say these words out loud so that your brain can hear them, so that you're practicing speaking them. I know that it's a little harder. We're not in the classroom to have turn and talks with your partner. So talk to yourself or tell a family member. Go into the bathroom and tell them about halves, thirds, and fourths in the mirror, whatever you need to do to practice the vocabulary. So here, I'm going to be counting the space in between and not the lines. So I'm going to count this as 1 space, 2 space, 3 space. So I'm going to say I have 3 thirds, okay? And then you can continue and do the next 3. Do you understand? Does this picture show thirds? Why or why not? So when I count, I see 1 space, 2 space, 3 space. So it is cut into 3 sections. What it wants to know if it's 3 thirds. So when I come back up here, is it the third in equal parts or are they unequal? So I think your biggest argument is to say if it's in thirds, are they equal thirds? Or is it just broken into 3 unequal parts? Okay, then you can go ahead and have some fun on this side, which is kind of fun because halves, you want to make sure it's right in the middle, but you can also have some creativity with how to cut these as long as they are equal. Down here, you get to show 2 different ways to divide these squares into thirds. So you're going to show 1 way here and 1 way here. So for example, here's 1 way I could cut thirds. Now you come up with a different way for this side. Backside. 4 friends want to share a watermelon. How could they cut the watermelon so each friend gets an equal part? I am going to give you a clue since I am not with you at home. If you decide to cut it, let me draw you a fake one. Let's see. Here's a watermelon. If we draw it like this, like we might have done on the square I just showed. The issue here is that this curves. So there's all this space here and here that are unequal. So I am going to tell you, do not cut in perfect straight lines up and down, like 3 lines up and down, or 3 lines sideways. Because this is a curved edge, it will be unequal. So you're gonna have to be creative and find a different way to cut it, because this is, okay. Going on, Leon split a sandwich into halves, which shows how he could split the sandwich. So if here's a sandwich, remind yourself, we'll look back at our vocabulary, what halves is, and which one would show equal halves. And then journal, draw and label 3 pictures to show halves, thirds, and fourths. Write a sentence to describe each picture. So you could do 3 circles and break it into half, thirds, and fourths. You could do 3 squares, break it into half, thirds, and fourths. Rectangles, you can refer back here to get some ideas. So it's a lot of creativity. Just make sure that they are equal parts. Good luck, guys.